What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ross the Boss coming at you with an all-new Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. We are now on episode 4 of our Better Than Napoleon series, and the goal, of course, is to play as Napoleon and to conquer the 3 provinces, Berlin, Vienna, and Moscow, which should be right about here by the time the game is over. And so far, we have done quite a bit of conquesting. We have invaded England, taken back some of our foreign territories, and of course we have conquered some provinces in Burgundy, forcing them to release some other provinces such as Holland, Brabant, and Flanders. We have 3 lazy diplomats not doing anything. Let's try to improve the relations of Flanders, Brabant, and of course Holland as well. And as I said, we are essentially rebuilding our economy, putting down any rebellions that might arise. Looks like we have one coming in the next 3 years, and most likely another one coming in the next 4.6 years. And Auteuil and Picardy are now giving us quite a substantial income. We have the ability to invest in new technology. I think I will go ahead and invest in national ideas, basic financial instruments, and of course, now that we have our very first idea group, we need to make a very tough decision. Do we want influence ideas, where we would be able to take over other countries at a very fractional aggressive expansion discount? Or we could go ahead and not have to ever worry about, rebellions. Obviously they do come into play, but having a -2 unrest modifier, and of course having -10 years of separatism will be very nice and beneficial. But of course we also could have a -25% core modifier, and just having this on its own will certainly pay for itself many times over. And another advisor, number of states as well. Really, if we get administrative ideas, we are going to have a surplus of administrative power throughout the entire game. Economic might be nice as well. Never having to deal with inflation will always be nice. Scientific revolution. We'll continue to let the clock go. I could, of course, play it safe and get aristocratic ideas. Let's go ahead and get administrative ideas. That way, we'll never run out of administrative power. You know, we're going to have a 25% core reduction. Just these 2 provinces cost me about 320 administrative power. So, of course, we would have saved about 75 just on this war goal alone. Well, then again, we could also have humanist ideas. This is a very tough decision. I'll probably get both in the long run. No. We're going to stick with what we have, having the administrative ideas, and especially bookkeeping, interest per annum. So that means if we ever do take out any loans, it won't necessarily be as harmful. It'll be a 3% rate instead of 4%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you owe money, it of course could be very detrimental. Aragon has embraced the Renaissance. Gift to the state. I'm sure I know some more people who can contribute. Oh man, we are not only getting gold, but we are also getting prestige, bringing us to a positive number. We now have no mission selected. England must be driven from France, or we can improve our prestige. I think we'll go ahead and we will... Ooh, we could solidify our papal relations. I think we'll do that first. if we were to somehow get to positive 100, we would get some additional yearly papal influence, and we could use that to get some mercantilism. And it only costs 50 now. That's odd. But it looks like it has been decreased to 1 mercantilism. And right now, all we're doing is we're growing our economy, getting some ducats in the bank, filling our coffers. And it looks like Picardy will have an uprising sometime in the next 2 years. And of course, Burgundian separatists are a little angry we took their territory. And I think we will continually get discipline once again. I don't see anything that would create cheaper men. But of course, even if we did pay the money to cycle through all these different advisors, paying 13 gold a month, we would really only save about 2 ducats per month. It doesn't necessarily seem worth it. Now, I believe I'd like to try to kick England's butt once again. With Scotland on our side, we could give some territory over to Scotland. And of course, we could take our French territory and even conquer some bits and pieces of England itself. How is Castile doing? Castile has invaded Granada and is at war with Morocco. We are still improving our reputation here with the Papal States. Now, we have the ability to unlock a new military technology, but I think we're going to wait until we have a negative 5% instead of a positive 5%. We still have not embraced the Renaissance, giving us an additional 13% penalty. Now, I'm curious, how much would that cost? It would cost 763 gold, and unfortunately, we only have 440 at the time. We might go ahead and try to embrace the Renaissance as fast as possible. And we should be there within the next year or two. Burgundy! I used to be scared of Burgundy, but now all of these low countries here have seceded from their union. And of course, Nevers is no longer a vassal. So Burgundy went from a powerhouse of excellence to a very weak country here. I am still quite scared of England's navy, but if we combine our naval superiority with Scotland's naval superiority and even our production powers, we might be able to tip the scales in our favor. Last time I checked, they had about 7 heavy ships, which of course is about 350 gold. So we'll see what happens. And let's see, a lot of these countries still don't like me because I have been seen as a oppressor. You know, I'm taking over different countries, and of course the aggressive expansion is continually rising. Let's see if we can improve our relationship with Scotland. We could give them a royal marriage as well. And we will continually improve our relationship with Spain. And we'll speed up the time here as well. We do have the opportunity to invest in new technology. I don't think we will. And unfortunately, it looks like we may lose these men. Yeah, we lost 8,000 men, unfortunately. We'll have to retrain them. Well, we'll retrain them in time. We lost 6,000 units of infantry and 2,000 horses to carelessness. And Scotland would like a royal marriage. We will certainly grant that. And we have the ability to unlock our very first administrative idea. We'll take that as well. Really wishing I didn't lose those men to some carelessness. But, you know, they are replaceable. Savoy has embraced the Renaissance. And we are very close to completing our first mission. Learning from the mistakes of others, Charles VII has always considered it a virtue to listen to the advice of those that came before him and to surround himself with experienced advisors. It worries him, however, that Louis might not fully realize what ruling France entails. At some point, this is a responsibility that Louis will have to shoulder, and at that time, it would probably be the best if he had been more thoroughly introduced to the challenges of rulership. We could lose 75 administrative power, 75 diplomatic power, or military power. But of course, I believe we are most likely going to be improving. This is our Charles VII. I believe this is our youngest heir, so we will most likely be improving his administrative power. And the reasoning behind that is we are going through administrative ideas, and we'll really want to power through those idea groups with as much administrative power as we can find. We could reclaim Maine. That didn't go so well the first time. Vassalize Provence. I don't believe that'll be my next goal. And protect against Austria by having 39 units. I think we can make that happen. We need 2,000 more men. Let's go ahead and protect against Austria. Create 2,000 more men. And we will get a nice modifier. We could get a request military access from Nevers. And we have a lazy diplomat. I believe will improve the relationship with Aragon. And we have another mission. We will most likely go with improve our prestige. And we will now be improving the relationship of Savoy. Now, 70%, we really need to watch these separatists. We don't want to have the same mistake we had last time. Where are they going to come from? Auteuil? So that's right here. Let's move the rest of them out. Gonna make stacks of 8, most likely. These rebels are continually getting closer and closer to an uprising every day. We now have the ability to improve our military technology and improve our diplomatic technology as well with shipyards. And looks like we have some new military tactics. We can now build a barracks, but I don't think we're going to be building any just yet. Let's slowly raise our maintenance modifier. We could offer Granada some condottieri, but I don't think we want to upset Castile at all, or at least weaken our allies. And let's see who else we can improve our relationship with. How about Munster? Aragon has paid all the foreign debt of Holland, amounting to 67.2. I'm not sure why they would. And it looks like we now have the ability to embrace the Renaissance. I think I will, finally bringing all of our technologies down to a 0% penalty. And of course, we now have 5% construction cost and 5% development cost. We are waiting for these Burgundian rebels here to get to 90%. And just in case, I will bring them up just a little bit more. I really don't want to have any mistakes again, especially losing 8,000 men to some carelessness. We almost have 100 gold, which means we will now be able to construct an additional church, and I believe we'll go ahead and do that. I believe that constructing the church in Orleans here will give us some of the best bang for our buck money-wise, and we'll go ahead and do that. Waiting for these rebels to spawn still. And we now have another diplomat where we can send him to... Switzerland does not like us, so let's improve the relationship here. And we have completed improving the relationship with Savoy. Nevers doesn't like us, but we are going to take them over in time. Cleves could like us more. Let's improve the relationship with Cleves. Morocco received a gift from Aragon. Alright, now we have 90%, very, very close to an uprising. We'll bring our army maintenance up to a full tick, bring 16,000 men, actually we'll bring 24,000 men into Auteuil. We could even bring 32,000, having a full cap here. And they should have an uprising sometime within the next year. And it looks like we have 32,000 men and with a supply limit of 31,000. I think we'll be fine for the time being. And unfortunately, our generals keep dying on us. We'll need to construct another one. Or recruit one, I should say. And we could either lose some prestige or lose some legitimacy. If we want to achieve our mission, we will need to have 50 prestige. And unfortunately, we will go ahead and have to lose some additional legitimacy. And it looks like we have another lazy diplomat not doing anything. Let's improve the relationship of Trier. We may want to begin improving or at least fabricating claims on the Pope. Not sure how well that would work out for us. Anyway, we've taken out the rebels here. Let's decrease our maintenance to about 15-20%. And bring our troops back to France. At least to the countryside, I should say, and not near the enemy borders. Let's try to maximize as much profit as we can. I don't think I would mind getting some additional trade ships. Or another merchant. Looks like I've got one collecting trade in Genoa here. And another one collecting trade. That's odd. So we are transferring trade power, obviously, and then collecting trade. I wish there was a different symbol, but it doesn't look like there is. It might be nice to get some additional trade ships here in the Genoa trade node. But of course, all of this costs money. And I certainly wouldn't mind having some trade ships here in the English Channel. Maybe our next goal would be to get trade ideas. I'm not sure if we'll want this. But, you know, obviously having another merchant, you know, hell, we'll have 3 other merchants. So we could easily put one here in the English Channel. We could put another here in the Rhineland. And we could put one down here in Sevilla, but I'm not sure that will be very beneficial for us for the time being. We now have the ability to invest in adaptability, giving us that negative 25% core creation cost, which is exactly why we took the idea group in the first place. We have 2 additional advisors, or 2 additional diplomats that aren't doing anything. Let's begin to improve our relationships with the rest of the Low Countries. And this is only a positive 10. Now, we do have 375 gold. It might be nice to continually build some additional cathedrals, or some additional churches, I should say. Looks like the Emperor has enacted an imperial reform, consolidating the empire, or at least taking steps towards that, making a more centralized government. Let's build a church here in Normandy. We'll build a church here in Nemours. We'll continue to let the clock run as well. And we have 2 more. Obviously, we need to build one here in Picardy. And where else could we get the most amount of money? Possibly here in Limousin. Burgundy would like military access. We are going to decline. Okay, and Burgundy has a casus belli against us, which is fine. I wouldn't mind taking over Flanders and Ghent. Ooh, we could lose 20 legitimacy or lose 1 stability. I think we will lose the 20 legitimacy. This is very dangerous, being so low. Now let's go ahead and plan. My goal here is to control as much of this trade node as possible. So, having control of this province and Ghent could be very beneficial for us in the long term. But of course, the closer I get to all these lower countries, the more aggressive expansion that will tick towards me. So I am getting quite nervous. Also, England hates us. It might be nice to take over some of their territory as well. Looks like we have finally embraced the Renaissance. I thought that already happened. Oh, I'm sorry. We are France and not England. Getting a little carried away. And let's see who else we can improve our relationship with. Unfortunately, Denmark has rivaled me. What about Bohemia? They do like me. Let's get someone a little bit closer. Let's improve our relationship with Gelray. Kind of a boring episode, if I do say so myself, but we really want some of these coalitions to essentially dissipate. Obviously, they haven't formed a coalition, but this aggressive expansion is dangerously high. Our truce with England is gone. I believe what we'll do next is, if we can somehow muster up enough money, we could try and attempt to reclaim Maine, reclaim this province as well, and even offer Scotland some additional territory against England. That might be what our next goal will be. And of course, we do still have our 2 reconquest casus bellis. We'll need to fabricate a claim or a core on Kent. And we won't be able to do that anytime soon until Aachen here has reached 100. Let's recall this diplomat. Start fabricating some spy networks here, and once we have a spy network, we can fabricate our claims. If we go into the ledger, unpause the game, we'll go into military, and to navies as well, and find England. Looks like it was there at the very top, and I missed it. They have 6 heavy ships, which will cost us 300 gold, 10 light ships, and 16 transports. How much does Scotland have? 1 heavy ship and 8 light ships. So it looks like we are going to be spending maybe 450 gold on a bunch of heavy ships. And possibly even some transport ships as well. This will be a very expensive war, but somehow we are going to need to establish a foothold in the English Isles. And we could grant some export licenses. We would lose 10 legitimacy, but I don't want that to happen. I think we're going to have to upset the nobility and upset Burgundy, but we will gain 10 legitimacy. We will continue to improve our relationship with Friesland here. Alright, so here is our goal. We're going to be constructing some carracks. Man, these are expensive. Not sure that I want to do this, but obviously I want to take over England. So let's go ahead, construct as many as we can. We already have 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, England has 6, but England also has a lot more light ships than we do. So let's go ahead and build. We have 8 right now. Let's build 2 more. And then, of course, we will get some cogs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll bring us up to 12 cogs. Not necessarily the worst, but it could be better. Let's build 2 more cogs. You know what? I'd really like to get 6 cogs. So 1, 2, 3. Well, wait a minute. We've got 4. Let's get 8. So then that way we have 16 cogs all together. Man, that is going to cost us a lot of maintenance fee. It's going to cost a lot of money as well. We have a lot of extra military power, though. We could spend that and improve the areas around our provinces here. Let's go ahead and find development. And let's find some weaker areas. You know what? Let's find some areas that have farmlands. I think we're going to go ahead and improve the military power of this province. I'd like to bring us up to 20 development, but I don't think we're going to have enough, and it looks like we do. And from this province alone, we are going to be getting 24,000 manpower per year, which is very, very nice. And it looks like I am going to go ahead and end the episode here. As always, thank you for joining me. And in the next episode, I will certainly declare war on Burgundy. Or excuse me, I will declare war on England itself. Possibly taking over Kent.